Washington, D.C., the capital of the land of the free and the home of the brave. It is also home to over 11,000 homeless men and women who struggle every day to find their next meal and a place to stay. Fortunately, there are many homeless shelters to provide these men and women with the necessary resources they need in order to survive. One of these is Central Union Mission. The Mission is the longest continually running homeless shelter in the District of Columbia. Along with providing its guests with 3 meals a day and overnight housing, the Mission also provides many spiritual, health, education, and work placement programs as well. One of the latest work programs at the Mission was started by a former guest at the Mission. His goal is to provide many employment-challenged individuals, such as former convicts and people with mental disabilities, with the opportunity to gain usable business knowledge and skills to prepare them to be employable citizens. His tool, Muffins.
My name is Tony Casson. I'm 62 years old. As you can see from the step and repeat behind me, we're at the Central Union Mission, where I arrived a little over 2 years ago after serving 4 years in federal prison, which followed a nearly successful suicide attempt. After living a 40-year life of selfishness and self-indulgence and self-gratification and willful disobedience to God. While I was in prison, I built a relationship with God, and I looked for ways to do something different when I left prison. The idea that I had actually designed a bakery concept while I was in prison, and Mission Muffins grew out of there. Once I was working within the mission, and we needed a program that could work within the existing infrastructure. The Mission Kitchen is operating all day long, serving 3 meals to 150 guys at each meal, so the only time the kitchen was available was at night, so bakery seemed to be a natural thing.
The Mission Muffin Company has been operating since May 2016 and already has 2 program participants who not only live and work at the Mission, but also receive minimum wage through the program.
My name is Carl Terry, and I grew up in Washington, D.C., and the reason I came here is because I had problems hanging with negative people and hustling and selling drugs. So that was my main problem, with selling drugs and hanging with negative people. I thank God for this mission and this program, because if I would have stayed out there, I probably would have been locked up, dead. It's all my friends locked up are still out there, and some of them died. And that the way me changed was my best friend died and my brother got 30 years. So I had to get closer to God and change my life and start being on the right path, because I got 2 kids. So I came a long way, and now I got a lot of growth and I see things differently now.
Overarching objective is to try and make employable those guys who are currently difficult or almost impossible to employ because of lack of education, vocational training, criminal background, socioeconomic disadvantages growing up, any and all of those things in some cases.
You get to serve it to the people, and they get to see your work, and if they like it, you feel proud of that it's good, and it make you feel very good. You made something that people like.
They require that retail environment, so I think once we get there, we've had preliminary conversations with a large national supermarket chain who might be interested in having their bakers develop the products on a commercial level and brand them, Mission Muffin products and sell them in their stores. So I think as long as we never forget that God led us to this point, and as long as we continue to allow Him to lead us from this point, God has no limits. So I think the program has no limits. So.